guys, wanted to introduce you to a couple of gold level sponsors of top rated MMA and the Bearded Biz Show. Number one, Anglesey Family Chiropractic. They're in Coeur d'Alene where I'm at. They're also in Spokane Valley. I know I have a lot of fighters that follow our show and have been able to connect with fighters from that area. If you're a fighter, if you're at the gym or just need an adjustment, Dr. Craig Anglesey is your guy. Go check him out. He is in Coeur d'Alene and Spokane Valley. I also wanted to introduce you to Training is Ritual. They're an MMA apparel company based out of Alabama. They've got MMA gear for both men and women, accessories, rash guards, supplements. If you're into death metal, horror movies, leg locks, and MMA, this is the brand you want to go check out. They're an awesome apparel brand, high quality gear every time. Go check them out. Training is Ritual. Sam, you're a husband, a father, singer, songwriter, worship pastor, much more. Thank you, man, for taking time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'd like to go back to the beginning here. Who influenced you to pick up the guitar and start learning?
Both of my grandpas and my dad and my mom are both very musical. So grew up in a house with a lot of music, listened to a lot of records, a lot of R&B, a lot of just a pretty broad variety of stuff. I wasn't really interested in music too much. Didn't pick up a guitar till I was 18.
Okay.
And just kind of, fell in love with it and started writing songs and stuff. And so I grew up around it, but wasn't until after high school that I actually was interested in music.
Was there a moment after you had graduated where you realized or that you remember man, this is what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to go be a musician?
Yeah. It was, I was doing music for a youth small group. And it was just kind of this moment this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now your single, which is 2 songs, came out just over a year ago, Love and War. What's the story behind My Forever and when did you stop loving me?
So My Forever, I was driving between Seattle and Coeur d'Alene, and was just the lyrics just start popping in my head,
Okay.
And so I'm driving and I'm using the recorder on my phone, just singing a line. And then as I'm driving, I'm coming up with the next line. And then I'm like, oh, that's good. And I just, doing that and got home and kind of fleshed it out, over the next couple days. And then that was My Forever. And it really was just drawing on, the way that I felt when, my wife and I were engaged and just kind of really used that to kind of flesh out the verses and stuff. When Did You Stop Loving Me was just sort of a, again, and man, there's just the idea just pops in your head. And, and it's just kind of I think, everybody's had a breakup that they just have more questions than answers when it's done, and you go, man, when did this all go wrong? When did this all go south? And so that's kind of, the story behind that one, just thinking about breakups and I haven't had a breakup in a long time, but
Sure,
I know people who have gone through it. And so, kind of draw from their experience. Yeah.
Right on. Oh, you won the 2019 North Idaho's Got Talent and Spokane Songsmith Challenge.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's going through your mind when you're up on stage and they're announce you as winner?
Oh man. Kind of disbelief, there were so many talented people in both of those, and when I'm in the crowd listening to the other people, I'm going, oh, dang. Oh man, that guy's really good. Or that's a great song. That's probably going to win,
Right.
Just kind of, and they announce it. You're just like, oh, dude, that's awesome. Just this gratitude of wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You ended up flying down to Reno to go try out for The Voice. I don't know why, but they didn't pass you through to the show.
Yeah.
What was that tryout process like?
Yeah. So North Idaho's Got Talent, because I won that, they paid for my travel and hotel and stuff to go try out for, any of the big, talent shows like America's Got Talent or American Idol. I'm too old to do American Idol, so I had to do The Voice.
Okay.
So yeah, I got up at, super early in the morning and got in line at 6 a.m. And there's already a few hundred people in line in front of me. And, the doors were supposed to open at 7. And just as the hour went by, just the line just went all the way around the building. Like there are thousands and thousands of people.
Wow.
So you're waiting in line. They open the doors and you go in, and then you get in another line and you wait. And then, you get to the front of that line and they're like, okay, sit here. So you sit down and you wait. And it's just hours and hours and hours, like 3-4 hours of just sitting.
Wow.
And waiting. And then all the seats are filling up as people are kind of coming in, and it was cool just hanging out, talking to people and hearing their stories and, where they're from. And so then they, after a few hours you get up and then they put you in another line.
Of course.
A lot of waiting in lines. And then they break you up into groups of 10. And we went up into this room, and there's like 5 chairs on either side and 3 people sitting at a table at the end of the room. They go, all right, here's how it's going to go. Everybody's got 45 seconds. Stand up, do your thing, sit down. Next person, just get up and go.
Wow.
So, all right. So, get up and do your thing. And then it was like, I wasn't really nervous. But you could tell that a lot of the other people there were, like forgetting the words to their songs, and you just feel so bad for them. Like, you can just hear the nerves in their voice. They just felt bad. Like they waited all this time and just kind of blow it. But I got up, man. I did my thing. I sang my song. Yeah. And they're like, okay, well, thank you guys for coming. Try again next year.
Wow.
Okay. And then they kind of escort you out of the building, and went back to my hotel and flew home the next day.
What? Man, that's great. So who are those people that are in the room? Are they just like producers of the show or something? Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Man, that's crazy. Being a musician, I can imagine this coronavirus is probably putting a damper on doing shows and stuff like that. How has this affected you doing the live shows and stuff, man?
Yeah, no, everything's on hold right now. I haven't done a gig in, I don't know, man. I can't even remember, to be honest. It was probably early March.
Wow.
Maybe mid-March was the last one I did.
Man.
Been able to do a couple of Facebook Live things.
Oh, cool.
With some buddies. And so we're going to try to keep doing that on Wednesday nights.
Okay.
Just as long as this continues.
Yeah.
It was good, man. I think we had 2,000 views on our Facebook Live thing last week. And so yeah, it's, people are, all the musicians I know were just like chomping at the bit to get back out there and just figuring out how to make this Facebook Live or whatever live thing kind of work for us and stuff. So I've been seeing a lot of good music just on Facebook lately. So you don't have drunk people talking over you while you're playing either.
Right. Totally. Probably the best part of that.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. What's next for you, man? What do you got going on?
I've just been writing a lot of songs.
Cool.
I just, even since the EP came out, just been writing songs and really focusing on that. I sent a couple off to a producer to have him work on them and, finish it up, put all the parts in for me and do that. But that's kind of been put on hold with, stuff he's got going on and stuff I've got going on. So yeah, just working on that, man. I don't have a whole lot like in the pipeline right now.
Sure.
Other than just working on songs and trying to craft them and get them right. And
yeah, a lot of people are saying this is crazy times, and it is, but I think even moments like this, God can just kind of work through us and kind of tweak us and say, hey, this is a good time to tweak or make some things, smooth it out of songs, man. And
100%.
That's awesome, man. I wanted to shift to some fun questions here.
Okay.
I've got these pod decks. They're kind of fun, just interview questions for us podcasters. Hopefully this is not a flop question, but we'll see how it goes, man.
Okay.
This is, if you had to delete all but 3 apps from your smartphone, which ones would you keep?
Which ones would I keep? Gosh. I'd have to keep text messages.
Okay.
I could do away with email. I don't love email. I'd keep texting. This sounds, probably Instagram would be number 2. I'd keep that.
Yeah.
And then I have a game that I play called Sniper 3D.
Okay. It's a rad game, dude.
Yeah. Probably that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now I have to give a shout out because your wife has the best cookies ever. It's sweet paisley cookies, which
Yes.
is awesome. How do you keep from not eating that all the time being at the house?
Yeah, so when she first started doing them, she would be decorating the cookies and she'd mess them up and she'd just throw them on a plate. And so
Okay.
every day there was like this huge plate of mess up cookies, and I'll have 3 or 4, but she's been at it, quite a few years now. So she's getting good at not messing up.
Okay.
And she does mess up, she knows how to fix it. So there's rarely any just sitting around. And
Okay.
that helps a ton. But
Yeah.
they are amazing.
They are absolutely, definitely need to go check out. I'll drop a link to Sweet Paisley Cookies too in the description.
She'll appreciate that. Yeah.
Who was your biggest musical influence?
Oh, well, I mean, my dad taught me how to play guitar.
Yeah.
So, early on it was him. Man, overall, influence in songwriting and things like that. I have to say, probably Ray LaMontagne has been huge for me.
Yeah.
I love almost everything he's ever put out. Yeah, probably the worst live concert I've ever been to, but
Oh, really?
yeah, I drove 7 hours to see him a couple years ago.
Okay.
It was 2 summers ago. I drove down to Bend, Oregon, because he was playing down there, and he had no energy. He barely acknowledged that the crowd was there.
No
Like,
way.
didn't talk in between songs. Didn't even play his hits. Like, he played his entire new album and a couple of songs from some other albums, and then he and the band walked up the stage. Like, people started leaving. I'm like, guys, he's coming back. Like,
Yeah.
he'll play big hits, and he came back out. He played 2 songs off of one of his old albums. And then they did like a 10-minute jam session, and that was it. They turned the lights on and he left, and I'm going,
No way,
I just
man.
drove 7 hours. Like, I didn't even get to hear like his best songs, but
Yeah.
that was a little frustrating, but I still love his music. He's
Yeah.
incredible singer songwriter. Just nobody puts emotion into a song like that guy does. So
Right. On the flip side of that, what's the best live concert you've been to?
best live concert is a 2-way tie between a guy named Alan Stone,
Yeah.
who is he's a Northwest guy, fantastic. I saw him in the lunchroom of a community college in the Seattle area one time.
Oh, that's
And,
awesome.
it was unreal, that guy. And then a band called Mute Math,
Okay.
I got to see a couple years ago down in Phoenix, and yeah, just unreal. Those guys are ridiculous. So
And did you take your boys to that show?
I took one of them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I took Jackson. He's a huge Mute Math fan.
Okay.
So I took him. I took my older son to see Need to Breathe like a month after that in Phoenix.
Oh, very cool.
They each got to go to one. But
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, such an honor to know you as a friend and just have you on my show today, man. This is so much fun.
yeah,
And man, thank you so much for taking time. I appreciate it.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging around. Really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more videos from Top Rated MMA and the Bearded Biz Show, please click the playlist and also hit subscribe to our channel. Become part of the Top Rated MMA and Bearded Biz community. We would really appreciate your support. Also, please leave a comment below. I will read and respond to all of them. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.